I've been waiting all week for some SFL action. On a big screen, I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack up. I've been waiting all week for some SFL action. On a big screen, I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack up. Rushing like a bullet into the end zone. Defense, hold up, no scoring in the red zone. Throw it up, pick 6, I feel like I'm Josh Rowe. Throwing dimes over the shoulder, think I'm Jack Winmo. I need me back to back, trying to be like Vulture. Cause a storm, cause I'm mighty, it's in the culture. Esports TV, YouTube, Twitch, SFL live tuning, you don't wanna miss. I've been waiting all week for some SFL action. On a big screen, I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack. I've been waiting all week for some SFL action. On a big screen, I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack them. Next level like my entertainment. NXT on the stream, 8 p.m. on the beat. Catch me on the cam like I'm SFL commence. Yeah, you only got one chance, you can never miss. For the glory, revolution, feel my fury. Cause I'm a legend out in Canton, and I'm playing with dragons. I'm the king of this legion. SFL action, tuning this season.
Kickoff! Are you kidding me?
All they're gonna need is
Big pop, it's up in the air!
Oh, there you go! Mexico City's gonna win! He's gonna go! Jason Power! Touchdown!
I've been waiting all week for some SFL action. On a big screen, I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack. I've been waiting all week for some SFL action. On a big screen, I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack up.
And welcome to SFL Studios and the coverage of the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music here on Next Level Sports alongside Mike St. Green, who's back with us today. I'm Cameron Irvine. We missed you yesterday, Mike. How you doing?
Hey, doing good, Cam, and hey, thanks to Harish Prasad for sitting in and keeping my seat warm for me yesterday.
He did a great job. It was a lot of fun having him along, and his team just got a big win about 20 minutes ago. We'll talk about that at the break. But this one, Mike, Los Angeles and Portland, this game has really looking a lot better than it did a couple of weeks ago on this schedule. Vancouver is imploding. They've lost 3 in a row. They have now opened things up to LA or Portland to try and contend for this division title. Vancouver now 4-4. Los Angeles is 3-4, and Portland is 2-5. And this game, it means a great deal. Both teams playing some really good football.
Yeah, both teams have been playing really well of late. Portland, they had won a couple of games in a row before, losing to Canton last week, who will be playing here in a little bit later tonight. And LA, this is a huge game for them to, get back to 4-4 and be in the tie for this division. And it's very interesting contrast in styles in this game, as far as what these teams have been doing offensively and then defensively. Portland, second in the league with 427 yards per game, and on the other side of the ball, the LA defense, they've been fantastic over the past, really over the entire season. First in the league, only giving up 299 yards a game on the defensive side.
Yeah, and that pass defense has been unrelenting for Los Angeles, and that's always been a strength of this team. Portland has not always been an excellent passing team, but this rookie, Cyrus Jive, man, the last 2 of the last 3 games, he's completed his first 19 passes of the football game. I don't expect we'll see that out of him tonight, but I expect that he will be potentially Los Angeles' biggest test in the secondary so far this season.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, the completion percentage has been great, and it's showing up in his QBR, 88.7, which is 7th in the league right now. And that's great for a rookie. And also a big contributing factor to that is Gene Valentine. He's on pace to having a career year. He could actually surpass his season highs in receptions and yards today. If things can go that way, just only about, I think, 7 catches and maybe about 30 yards, and he'll surpass his career high in any season in his 5th season in the league. And then the constant for these guys, Ezekiel Love. He's been great. He's been solid this season. We haven't seen the spectacular Ezekiel Love, but he's been great. He's been solid. 9 touchdowns rushing on the season. That's 7th, tied for 7th in the league right now. So Portland can do it offensively, but then you turn it over on the defensive side of the ball for them. They're 26th in the league, giving up 392 yards a game, and that's been the Achilles heel this season. That defense hasn't been quite as good as we've seen in the past, being able to get turnovers and hold teams down, and that's why we see them at 2-5. But a win here tonight, and these guys are clearly back in the race for the Pacific Division.
The Shipyard's going to be rocking on Los Angeles' offensive side of the ball to counter that Portland defense. Logan Jack, 3rd in the league in carries. Sully Richardson, Logan Jack, their running back, 3rd in the league in carries. Sully Richardson, their quarterback, 27th in the league in attempts. So this LA team loves to keep it on the ground and loves to pound Logan Jack. And so that's going to be an interesting contrast of styles. We'll see if Richardson gets more looks in this game. Or if we see a steady dose on both sides of Ezekiel Love and Logan Jack, which I think we could see, Mike, because if I was Portland going up against that LA pass defense, I might think about maybe keeping it a little bit more on the ground too.
Well, one thing about LA, I mean, Logan Jack is a different type of back. He's a free agent running back for them this season. He's a different type of back than what Robert Johnson was, who was basically a big, bruiser, pound the rock with him. And one note that I saw with Logan Jack this season, only 35 receptions, and that is roughly 70 receptions less than what he had all of last season, and he had over 100 receptions over the past 2 seasons. So we're used to seeing him doing things out of the backfield that maybe LA has not, adjusted to with him being over there this season. So I would kind of like to see him get out in the open space and do some of the things that we're accustomed to seeing him doing, and maybe they can get that offense going a little bit over there in LA.
Tonight in bonus coverage, we've got an interesting matchup. It's the battle for the Golden Dog Bone, Mike, and the Canton Classics, who have a bulldog mascot honoring the late Canton Bulldogs franchise that started everything in the NFL, and then Motor City V8 obviously has Denver, the mascot, one of their owners' support animals. And so that's going to be a fun one because Canton won 3 in a row. Motor City's been on a downward trend, but they are always a wild card. So we'll be checking in on that game as well tonight, Mike.
And this is an extremely interesting matchup as well, Cam, because going into this season, a lot of people, the Canton Classics, the expansion team, everyone expected great things for them coming out of the gate. And, they lost 4 in a row. And then the Motor City VH, they moving from St. Louis up to the Detroit area and, came in with an experimental offense that had never been, unconventional, let's say, that had never been tried or run in this league before. And they got off to a pretty hot start. The quarterback, Ibrahim Creator, he was leading the league in passing for a long time. And then now, pretty much a quarter of the way, a third of the way through the season, these teams did, they did a switch. And now Canton on a 3-game winning streak, they're doing what a lot of people expected them to do to start the season. And man, in Motor City, they've gone the opposite way. And I don't know what they've been expecting out of them the past couple of weeks, but they haven't looked like the same team as they did when they started out the season.
LA 3-4, Portland 2-5. Damon Simeon, Eddie Gage on your call. Justin Reside, Tristan Hadley holding it down in the stats truck. Mike and I will be back here at the half to review some of the best of Saturday's action and some early games in the SFL today and so much more. Mike and I have you covered here tonight from SFL Studios, and we're ready to rock. All right, well, that's it for us. And in SFL pregame, enjoy the game, everybody. We'll see you back here at the half. Portland and Los Angeles coming up next.
Next Level Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the Simulation Football League.
Everybody, welcome to Portland, Oregon, as the Portland Fleet takes on the Los Angeles Lycans tonight. The 2-5 Fleet welcome the Lycans of 3-4. Portland came up just 6 points short last week of the Canton Classics, who basically came away with that victory. LA comes in rolling pretty hot after their victory over the Motor City V8s, 29-16. This is the fourth matchup between these two teams, and Portland leads the matchup. Hey everybody, I'm your play-by-play commentator tonight, Damon Seaman, and alongside me I have my good buddy Eddie Gage. Eddie, say what's up to the people. I don't think I hear Eddie, but I'll keep going with it here. We'll see what's going on with Eddie here in just a moment. We'll get him going here. The Lycans are in all white here today, and Portland are in all gray. Get ready and set for the coin toss between these two teams. Get a look at the roster there. Let's see here. It looks like Los Angeles is going to select tails. And Portland will win the coin toss. And they're going to decide to defer and kick the ball away to the LA Lycans.
Good afternoon, LA SFL Nation.
Say what's up to the people, man.
What up, though? Sorry about that. I'm not sure quite what happened. All of a sudden, I look up and y'all couldn't hear me. I had to figure out what was going on there. But we back in business.
Glad to have you back, buddy. Also, absolutely excited to be back in the booth with you, as always. And here is the kicker for Portland, Joey Rabb, with the ball on the tee, and he booted it. And here's a return here from the 2-yard line here by the Lycans. Got open daylight, tackled and brought down at the 30, and this is where LA will start their first possession. Quarterback for the LA Lycans, we have Sully Richardson. Halfback is Logan Jack. Fullback is Tommy Rahman. And wide receivers, L.C. Pryor, Chris Lee, Shea Carroll, tight end Jack Flash, and the offensive lineman we have Jamarcus Candy, Vladimir Dunham, and Bob Dunham. We'll get to the defense of Portland here shortly. Sully Richardson underneath the center. Starting at the 30, got a pass right across the middle of the field. It's going to be deflected away by Mel Davis.
A lot of teams out here lately are getting away from that 4-2 nickel look and going with a more conventional 3-3, trying to get an extra defender out there in the zone, Damon, and it's been very effective throughout the league.
I've seen a lot of teams switch that. You're absolutely right, Eddie. Move to that 3-3 look, but, man, it's dangerous with only 3 defensive linemen on the field when you got 5 offensive linemen blocking when you're coming up against the run. Here is Richardson underneath the center. Come out of here, I-twins, hand it off here to Logan Jack, and Jack's going to pick up 5 yards on that carry.
It's one thing about this Portland Fleet defense. A moment ago, we seen them come out in a 3-3 nickel look. This time, out in base personnel, they choose to go with a 4-4. So you have to be very disciplined and detailed in your game planning anytime you're going to prepare for this team.
Come out in the same formation here, Gage. There's the Lycans. 3-step drop here by Richardson. Dump it off here to Jack and the flats. And he's not going to pick up the first down. Down to the 37-yard line. 4th and 1 is where they will stop them at the 37. Defense for the Portland Fleet. You have defensive ends. Robert Brewer, Darwin Nuevo. Defensive tackles. Luis Negron. And defensive tackle Jobu McSlim. Linebackers are Mel Davis, Cahill Thomas, Brody Goach as well. D-backs, Chris Statch, Derek Majors, Leo Morris are your cornerbacks, and your safeties are Bernard Smith and Joseph Lama are your free safeties, with Dale McClain as the strong safety.
Deep roster Portland has on the defensive end side of the football, Damar.
Very deep roster. Yeah, these guys. we've called a previous game of Portland where they had an outstanding outing versus the I want to say, was it the Charleston Predators? The game we called, you and I.
Yes, it was.
We'll get to the Fleet's offense here in just a moment. Here is the quarterback, Jive with his first completion of the day on his first pass. He's going to pick up 8-9 yards there on the carry. I'm sorry, on the reception. Did they call him out of bounds? No, they gave him the 8 yards. Okay.
Yes, it's 2nd and 2, but you can see LA out there kind of timid here on first down, trying to figure out what Portland is going to do, and they come out in quarters coverage and just pretty much giving them everything underneath until they get more familiar with what Portland is trying to accomplish here on the offense.
Cyrus Jive to his number 1 wide receiver, Gene Valentine, on that pass. Come out here in the weak eye Jokers formation. Looks like a 4-3 by the defense. And Ezekiel Love gets the handout, but he goes nowhere. He's going to lose 2 yards there, Gage. Is it 2 or 3? I think it's going to be 3-yard loss. They had the 35.
3-yard loss. Yeah, it's going to be 3rd down and 5. And talking to Sully Richardson, the defensive coordinator for this team, he says it's going to be tough to duplicate last week's performance when they got 9 sacks last week versus Charleston. Tough bill to follow.
3rd and 5 here for the Fleet. Out route down to bottom field. That pass is caught by Israel Adams. Offensive lineup here for the Portland Fleet. You got a quarterback, Cyrus Jive, the rookie. Halfback, Ezekiel Love, we did mention. Fullback, Jacob Farmer. Wide receivers are Israel Adams, Benjamin Warner, and Gene Valentine. Tight end, Nelson Lozano Jr., the only tight end on the roster. Offensive lineman, Randy Fatt III, and Jaden Taylor. We'll get to the defense of the Lycans here in just a moment as well. There's a handoff here to Ezekiel Love, and looks like this Lycans defense is holding up to that last week performance, Gage.
Yeah, so far so good for this defense. You can see them come out here, and they ran 2 corners defense of shell, trying to take away the stretch plays. You can see when Ezekiel Love tried to bounce that ball outside, there was nowhere to go. Great defense.
2nd and 11 at Portland's own 39-yard line to come out here in the power formation. Going to be a screen pass to Love out of the backfield. He's very dangerous in this position here. He picks up, looks like 6 yards there on the play.
A pickup of 6 yards, and anytime you get Ezekiel Love out there in space, it's a great job just bringing him down to the ground. Great job by the LA's defense so far.
Let's look at Cyrus Jive there. 3 wide receivers set here. They come out in a shotgun doubles right. 4-2 Nichols, the defense. Jive going deep. He got a reception and get more yards after the catches. Nelson Lozano Jr. down to the 24-yard line of the Lycans. That is going to be a 30-yard pickup for the Fleet.
You can see right there at the snap of the ball, LA come out in a 3-strong defense trying to take away the edges. Portland realizes that and hits their man deep down the middle of the field for a 1st down.
Defense for the Lycans are defensive ends, Brogan Sparrow, Ace Blackwell, John Nevels, and Jack Marks are the defensive tackles. Linebackers, Tazzy Blackwell, Chad Stinson, Buddy Blaze. Get to the cornerbacks and safeties here in just a minute. Another handoff here to Ezekiel Love. Run one person over in the backfield before being brought down after picking up 1 yard. Now at the 22. Cornerbacks, Jack Hacksaw, TD Jack, and Rachel Colston, Ryan Proster, and Ryan Yosef are your secondary members for the Los Angeles Lycans, and they have Sid Olindi as a kicker.
Just call her Ray for short and you'll be all right. I've learned that lesson many a times.
Absolutely. Here is Jive, got Ezekiel Love once again out the flat, picked up the 1st down there.
Looking at that replay, it's just funny. He didn't throw that ball a yard downfield. It was just a throw, basically to the sidelines. Ezekiel catches the ball, brings it in, and picks up a 1st down.
Yeah, those are the screen passes that I love, where the quarterback is throwing it out in front of the receiver, where that he can catch it in stride. Instead of him throwing it behind the running back, he has to stop and try to gather his feet and catch the ball. There's going to be a tight end flex here, but they're going to hand it off to Love right up the middle, and look at him run down to the 4-yard line.
And we pick up of 8 yards, Damon, and right there we see both the benefits as well as the pros and cons, I guess you could say, of that two corners defense when you take away the edges, but that middle of the field could be wide open.
They come out in a bump formation here. Both corners are playing up close on the flats of the receivers. Going to give it to Ezekiel Love. Love stopped right at the line of scrimmage, back to the 4-yard line.
Great tackle. Pretty much saves a touchdown. If he does not make that tackle, there's no one between him and the end zone.
Yeah, Tazzy Blackwell coming away with that tackle. And she's been the outstanding inside linebacker for the Lycans this season. The F-Wing Jokers look for Ezekiel Love here out in the flats.
Here it is.
Nobody is out there. Ezekiel with the catch. Touchdown, Fleet. As Ezekiel Love just crossed Hollywood Boulevard.
Ezekiel Love catches that swing pass, lines up in that formation that Atlanta and yourself like to run so much, takes advantage of it. There's no one out there to catch him, and it's going to be a touchdown for Portland. And they did just what you want them to do. They get off the field on defense, get the ball on offense, and scores a touchdown.
First drive of the game, and Portland just basically marched down the field and did whatever they wanted to do. Had some short stints in the run game in the beginning of the drive, but Ezekiel Love came up big here towards when they got into enemy territory inside the red zone. He was able to pick up some nice yardage on the run. But he was very effective in the pass game, as we saw him get 2 screen pass, or actually should we say 3 screen pass on this drive, 1 for a touchdown, 2 that picked up a first down that helped Portland continue this drive to move downfield.
Taking advantage, staying ahead of the chains, making an easy third down conversion attempts. Anytime you can make it third and manageable. And Portland did a great job of doing just that.
If you're new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and role-playing games into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations, as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website at simulationfl.net. The SFL, where we put fan in fantasy. 1st and 10 here for the Los Angeles Lakers as they start their second drive here of the ball game.
Who came up with that, by the way? We put the fan in fantasy.
Only person I can think would come up with that would be the commissioner.
I'm not sure if he's that smart, but that's whoever did. It's a great job.
I mean, he's a very smart man. I mean, he has a degree from Texas State.
Texas State, come on.
You need to stop.
Great defense by Portland. They're on first down.
It's a higher institution.
Yeah. Is it?
2nd and 10 here for the LA Lycans at their own 28-yard line. I can't. I need another partner. Here's Sully Richmond on a 3-step drive. Pass across the middle. That pass is complete and caught. Is it complete? Yeah,
it was complete. But it looked like that ball might have been tipped at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I gave him a 7-yard pickup there. That ball looked crazy from the go. I don't know what happened on that. 3 wide receiver, twins to the right of Richardson. Logan Jack to the left of him in the single back. 4-2 Nichols the defense. Going to run a stretch play here to Jack. Jack's going to pick up the first down.
Great block by the slot receiver, getting his hands in the chest of the cornerback. He's unable to come up there and make a tackle, and allows Ezekiel to run for a first down.
Here's Richardson, 1-step drive. Got a man downfield. That pass is going to be caught and complete to the 46-yard line of Portland.
Great catch there, reeling that ball in. I mean, he knew he was going to get hit upon receiving it, but he was able to stay focused, put his hands on the ball despite his body being exposed to the defender. He was able to reel in that pass.
Yeah, 16
great concentration
on that pass there from Richardson. Richardson comes into tonight's matchup with 2,145 yards on the season. I'm sorry, that is jive. 1,518 yards through the air. There's a dump off here to Logan Jack. Jack's going to pick up 6 yards there on that carry.
That's almost like stealing money right there, Damon. No one is open downfield. He, again, dumps the ball off to his running back, standing out in the flat, and he's able to pick up 6 yards.
And Sully Richardson, as I stated, 1,518 yards through the air. He is basically sitting at dead last at number 28 for passing yards through the air. Here's a handoff here to Logan Jack as this team loves to keep the ball on the ground. Jack, oh, you could have picked up the first down there, but if you would have kept going.
Inexcusable right there as Tom Rahman is on the sidelines looking like, Jack, you got to be kidding me, bro.
Absolutely.
Lower your shoulder and pick up that first down.
4-yard pickup there. 3rd and 1 at Portland's 35. The crowd is starting to get loud. Lycans have the entire offensive line on the front in the game here now. There's a handoff at the Logan Jack right up the middle. He picks up that first down with ease at a gauge.
Yes, he did. And a lot of teams have been running this play lately, giving the ball to the fullback. Baltimore started maybe it's Mexico City who started that trend, but I'm starting to see a number of teams use that play in their playbook. Speaking of Tom Rahman, today's his birthday.
Yeah, I heard that somewhere. Happy birthday, Tom.
I think he turned 22 today.
If you see him in person, you wouldn't say that he looks like he's 22. No, I'm not just joking. I'm just joking, Tom. He doesn't look that old.
Well,
that was an incomplete pass.
he lived a rough life growing up in L.A. in the Compton area, and they put a lot of years and a lot of wear and tear on his body.
Is he from Compton, really?
Of course. You see how tough that guy looks?
With the tattoo? Yeah, he looks pretty tough.
Yeah.
Talk about a guy with a squirrel who's tough. For a pick. Here's a 5-step drop in by Richardson.
Great catch.
The field, that pass is caught and complete. Picks up the first down. Man, did he just stiff arm that dude to the shadow rim?
He did. And wow, I mean, that was a perfect throw by Sully Richardson on the outside shoulder of LZ Pryor, away from the defender. He's able to bring it in, keeping the ball out of harm's way. Great throw by Sully Richardson.
After LA went, 3 and out on their first possession, they're basically rolling downfield on this possession here, doing exactly what their game plan was: keep the ball on the ground, not put it in harm's way through the air. And that's what LA likes to do. They don't like throwing a lot of picks or so here. And there's a handoff here to Logan Jack. Jack breaks that tackle. Oh, what a broken tackle that was.
A broken tackle. That should have been a gain of about a half a yard. But Logan Jack showing all those work he's doing in the weight room, with the deadlifts and everything, and starting to pay off. Look at him fight off the defender and pick up. That's Mel Davis, I think that was, trying to bring him down. And Mel Davis is a sure tackler.
Yeah, absolutely. He's no slouch. Here's Richardson underneath the center. Strong weak eye jokers. Handoff here to Logan Jack. Jack's gonna walk across Hollywood Boulevard, do a little dance and skip down to the movie theater.
Well, after going 3 and out in their first possession, head coach Tom Rahman was not happy. He went over there and gave Sully Richardson and the rest of this office an earful, saying, hey, this is unacceptable. You guys got to do better than that. Sully comes out here, makes some great throws, but then Logan Jack and company finished the deal by skating to the end zone.
And here comes Sid O'Lendy for the extra point attempt to tie this ball game up. I must say, Eddie, that we may be in for a pretty good game here today. After seeing those 2 drives, if we can get that all game, I'll be extremely happy. But I know you're a defensive guy.
Come on, this game can end 3-2, and I'll be just as excited.
Not a baseball score. Come on,
a
now.
Baseball score.
SFL produces over 400 live events each year, but don't miss community content creators and their creations. Catch SFL Nights with AJ Stryker, Say It With Your Chest, Around the SFL, and more covering season 19 and beyond. To check out archived versions of community shows, visit simulationfl.net and click the logo on your favorite form. Click on the logo of your favorite form of SFL entertainment on your homepage. 1st and 10 here for the Portland Fleet.
Wayne Jokers again.
There's the dump off here to Ezekiel Love. Ezekiel Love is stopped in the backfield. They're going to get him right at the line of scrimmage. I think he's a yard short or two.
Yeah, it's going to be a loss of about a half a yard. They're going to mark it 2nd and 10. But, you can see L.A. sniffing that one out as at the snap of the ball, the corner came flying down to the line of scrimmage. He saw that one coming. Great defense.
Speaking of content creators, Ashley Jackson, right before we went on live, reached out to me and asked me, am I available to do her show this week? Absolutely, yes.
What?
I'm available for Ashley's show. I don't know about saying it with your chest.
Oh, look at this.
The guy who does that show, he's a little lunatic.
He's horrible.
He is. I'm talking about you, Eddie Gage.
I know what you're talking about. I'm my own worst critic. I am horrible. I need to do a better job.
It was a 4-yard pickup by Ezekiel Love on that toss play coming out of the backfield. Trips to the right of Jive. Oh, hit the guy in the helmet. I don't know if the accuracy was off or the offensive receiver basically just went to try an acrobatic catch.
Yeah, that looked like some miscommunication right there because that route was not ran where the ball was thrown to. So looks like a bit of miscommunication on that end.
4th and 4, and Portland will have to punt the ball away here on their second possession.
Oh yeah, punter. I'm coming. I'm blocking this.
Here's a return. It's going to be stopped right at LA's 40-yard line. And that's going to be the end of the quarter. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music live on NXT Sports. See you when we get back. Everybody, welcome back to the SFL action. Here's the Lycans with a dump off to Logan Jack out of the backfield. Jack's going to pick up, looks like about 7 yards there on that play. 6-7 yards, Eddie.
Looking at this offense, it reminds me of the old Alaska Storm, the way they just methodically march the ball downfield, trying to keep the ball out of harm's way, stay ahead of the chains, and just when you get caught slipping, the ball is sailing over your heads. Let's see if they attempt to do something deep here later in this game.
Not a bad comparison there, partner. At the 47, handoff here to Jack up the middle. Jack's going to give him a yard.
Came about a half yard. Gonna set up a third and manageable here.
3rd and 2. I-twins formation here. 3-4 is the defense. Handoff here to Jack, and they stopped him right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah,
LA will be forced to punt the ball back to Portland, Eddie.
And you can see this defense. They came flying down the line of scrimmage as if they were in a huddle and knew the snap count, and they didn't stand a chance in converting that 3rd and short.
Eddie Gage, after LA scored their touchdown, I talked about how we may be in for an offensive fest. The last 2 possessions, both teams went 3 and out. Oh, this just may be what the Lycans needed to continue this drive.
I don't know if it was a pre-snap penalty or if that was actually after the ball was kicked. It was really close.
They're gonna call clipping.
Yes, that's gonna be after the snap.
Portland will accept.
Yeah, they're gonna accept that penalty. Now I don't know if they're gonna make them re-kick it. Oh, come on, you gotta let that go, ref. You serious?
I'm not sure what happened on that one.
Yeah, that was a bad penalty. So let's see. So they're gonna come back on the field here, and I don't know. Yeah, they're gonna make them re-kick it. So they're gonna take the 15 yards and re-kick. That's smart by Portland.
Yeah, so LA would be kicking from the 29 now instead of from the 49. There is the punt. And here's the return here by Portland. Out to the 41-yard line. The SFL Network is coming to the ESTV Plus app. 24/7 SFL programming will include content created by the community, the SFL's greatest games from their archives, exclusive network content, and live SFL regular season games. Download the ESTV Plus app on your Android or iPhone, or on your TV through Roku, Amazon Fire, Vizio, and more. The SFL Network, where the SFL creators come together. Here's an out route down to the bottom of the field. That pass is going to be complete to Israel Adams. Israel Adams is a really big dude, man. He's a target you cannot miss.
Yeah, and on that occasion, LA lined up strong side left, while the offense was lined up to their left. So not enough men to cover, and they just basically flooded the zone. That was an easy pitch and catch for Portland.
With that punt from LA. Oh, there's going to be an encroachment. There's a handoff here to Ezekiel Love as he's blowed up in the backfield. Give him 5 yards plus the first down.
Yeah, unfortunate. Trying to get a jump on the ball and take advantage of the situation, but unfortunately, a bit undisciplined there. It's going to give Portland a free 5 yards.
And my apologies. I did not mention our 2 statisticians that we have in the truck working on stats for us tonight, allowing Eddie and I to seem as smarter than what we are. We have Justin Insight on stats. It's what? And Tristan Hadley. Thank you guys so much for your contributions to the game.
Tristan acts like he's smart, but he's just so smart.
Tristan is working on a master's degree. Come on, Eddie, you're blowing up everybody with these major degrees tonight.
You know, Tristan, he's an all right guy, but sometimes he just gets under my skin. Sometimes I just want to take him and ball him up and throw him somewhere, but he works out. So instead of taking me 2 rounds to get him up out of there, it might take 5.
Silly. Portland marched onto the other side of LA's field here. Here is Ezekiel Love. I don't know why he spun there. I think if he continues to run straight, he picks up the first down there. Gabe's 3rd and 3.
And we're going to see if they can catch LA in that situation again. LA lined up in a man defense. They ran a stretch play to the weak side. So they now have brought him down with that tackle. Ezekiel Love could have been off to the races. Let's see if they dial it up, play it up again later in this game.
They come out here in the weak-eye jokers. 4-3 is the defense, shedding towards the weak side of the field.
Oh, look at that block.
Gets it, spin move. Oh, you talked about that big block down the field. And he picks up the first down all the way out to the 32-yard line. So it's going to be a 6-yard pickup there for the Portland Fleet.
Back, Jacob Farr. Let's get a look at this on the replay. Watch this. Boom, just cleaned out.
Wow.
And knocked him on his keister and allowed Ezekiel to get some yardage downfield. That was impressive.
A pancake. Was that? Yikes.
I wasn't gonna say his name, but that was Mike Scott who got blown up.
You just said you didn't want to say his name, but you said
I didn't want to. And there it is again.
Big block here by the Portland Fleet. Ezekiel down to the 6-yard line. Give him 26 on that game.
I'm gonna assume that cornerback Mike Scott was still hurt from that previous time he got blocked, because LA came out in a perfect defense to stop that play. And that 2 corners look again. That's designed to stop those edge rushes, but Mike Scott was unable to get off the tackle and bring Ezekiel down.
Ezekiel Love, man, is a pretty nice back here in the SFL. I mean, he has had his share of, should I say, his share of games, or he had some great seasons, especially his rookie season. If I'm not mistaken, I think he led the league in rushing his rookie season as he loses a yard here on this carry.
Yeah, that time Jacob Farmer didn't have the success he did on the previous play of blocking this man. He got basically stood up and knocked about a yard backwards, and Ezekiel had nowhere to go.
Yeah, both back comparison attempts are right around the same. 10 for Ezekiel, 8 for Logan Jack. Ezekiel with 50 yards on the ground, and Logan Jack with 37. Shotgun formation, pass across the middle of the field. That is caught to Israel Adams, the big 6'5", 225-pound wide receiver.
Yeah, you kind of saw that coming at the snap of the ball. They line up in press man defense, but he had zero problems beating that man coverage, got inside immediately, and was able to catch that pretty much easy pitch and catch throw. Gave him a clean throw, clean window to get the ball to him. Touchdown, Portland.
So Portland jumps on top, 13-7. Here of the Lycans.
Come on, is that artificial turf they're playing on? It looks like it.
It looks like they are playing on artificial turf. They are in an indoor stadium here in Portland. The current drive started at Portland's 41-yard line, a total of 3 minutes and 23 seconds, 8 plays, 54 yards with a touchdown from Cyrus Jive to Israel Adams.
You know, there are indoor stadiums that have grass, but I don't think this is one of them. It looks like turf out there.
The only stadiums that I know of that have grass are stadiums that have retractable roofs. And basically how that works is that the stadiums have it where that the grass can either be picked up and moved outdoors, or if you're in Arizona, they actually slide the entire field right out the door.
That is true. It looks so weird. I seen him doing it live one day. It looks crazy to see.
And you know, here in Houston, the Texans stadium, they have it where that the grass sit on like these pallets, and they actually pick them up on forklifts and takes them outside and water them and stuff like that or whatever. It's some weird stuff. Yeah. So just imagine driving alongside the stadium and you see these pallets of grass just sitting outside. You know, so
it's odd. They ruled that last pass attempt incomplete to Mom. I'm not sure what Sully was waiting on to let that ball go, as the receiver was wide open for quite some time, but he was looking further downfield and just did not take what the defense was giving him.
I thought that was a completion. Good pickup there, Gage. It's 2nd and 10 here now for LA. Handoff here to Logan Jack. Jack gets the handoff. Spin move, double spin. He picks up the first down. Oh, they're going to give him, no, not the first down. They'll say he was down inches short.
Yeah, it looked like his knee might have, been down before he did cross the line of game. So I think it's a good call by the ref.
I think it's a bad call.
You're an offensive guy, of course.
That's just me being an offensive guy. So
yeah.
3rd and inches at the 38-yard line of LA. Come out in the power formation. 4-3 is the defense. Handoff to Jack. Jack does picks up the first down on that carry.
Logan Jack getting a lot of work, as they talked about pregame. Yeah, slow getting up. But it's only the second quarter, young man. They need you to keep going.
First and 10 here for the Lycans at LA's 40-yard line. They're going to come out here in I formation twins. 3-4 defense. And off here to Jack. Jack's hit right at the line of scrimmage. Nowhere to go and no yards of gain.
Tight end did not set the edge. Didn't block anyone. Just ran straight downfield, which allowed Porter to get that penetration. and tackle Ezekiel Love. No gain.
2nd and 10 here now for LA. 5-step drop here by Sully Richardson. Dump it off to Logan Jack in the flats. Jack was wide open there. Picks up 4 yards on that reception, should I say, before being tackled and brought down at the 44.
And Portland, who's been playing aggressive pretty much this entire contest, that time dropped out from quarters cover. There was nothing open. Sully did great, remained disciplined, just dumped the ball off to Logan Jack and allowed him to do the rest of the work for him.
3rd and 6. They come out in a gun tray open formation here. They need this first down to keep the drive alive. Out route to the top of the field. Great audible there. No, out of bounds. Incomplete. Did they call it incomplete?
It was incomplete. He was out of bounds, DeMond, and he was short of the line to gain regardless. So LA is going to have to punt this back.
They gave him 4 yards.
See, that's what I get for looking at this monitor, DeMond. I got to talk to SFL Studios about getting it upgraded here. But me being a second ballot Hall of Famer, I don't get the same video quality that you get.
Well, I think you may even want to check your your Intel processor and get you an upgrade yourself. I don't think the league is going to do that for you.
I'm a second ballot Hall of Famer. I don't get a hookup.
Nah, I'm a first ballot Hall of Famer. I haven't got an upgrade yet. I'm running off an i3 processor. So I told my wife I needed one. She was like, "Not before I give me one for my computer." I was like, "Dang." 1st and 10 for Portland at their very own 19-yard line. There's a handoff here to Love. Love gets 2 spins up to the top of the field before being tackled and brought down at the 22.
Ran about 18 yards to pick up 3. He's going to be exhausted at that rate.
Second and 7 now, Gage.
Gun quads left. Yes. One of my favorites.
That's your favorite play. Formation. Let's see if they run your favorite play. No, they're not going to run your play. They're going to go 90-out slants here. Dump it off to the halfback. And I think this number 2 wide receiver coming across the middle, well, I should say the receiver in the slot from the top was wide open.
He actually got bumped, DeMond, by number 24 and knocked him off his route a bit, which is why he didn't throw it to him. You can see the quarterback, Cyrus Jive, kind of pump fake because he saw it too, which is why he ended up dumping that ball off to Ezekiel Love.
Oh, you saw the pump fake?
Of course. I see it everything.
Evidently, your quality is better than what you say it is. Because I didn't see the pump fake.
Here's 2 corners again, DeMond.
I was looking at the receivers. Here's a 7-step drop here by Cyrus Jive. Gets pressure.
Oh,
There's
no.
a reception, but he comes up short.
Yeah.
They're going to call him incomplete.
Yeah, he got bumped off his route, which made Cyrus Jive delay getting that ball out. And by the time he made his mind up, the pressure was in his face, and there's a bad ball. And as a result, Portland had to punt this ball back.
And LA is going to get pretty good field position here. Should have a starting position right around their own 40-yard line or somewhere around the 35. There it is, inside. Yeah, right at the 43 is where the receiver is going to be tackled. And on the return was Shea Carroll. Shea Carroll has been around for a long time. 10 seasons. Huh?
They have to talk about getting that guy to retire, DeMond. He's been around for a long time.
Shit, I've been around longer. They trying to get me out too.
I'm a Hall of Fame. I'm not going any damn well. You know that?
Strong
they go
guy
4-2 defense.
What do they do out of the spread? They go with the stretch. Logan Jack picks up about 4 yards there.
Yeah, that was not a favorable spot. You know, you can tell they're the road team. I thought it was about 5 yards. But great job by Logan Jack getting skinny and hitting a hole, cutting up field.
2nd and 5 here now. And that's going to be the 2-minute break. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by ATL Music. We'll see you right after this short commercial break. Everyone, welcome back to the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music here live on Next Level Sports TV. There's acrobatic catch.
Oh, goodness.
What a catch by the tight end, Jack Flash. And he
Flash.
gets up and hustle and bustle to the first down line.
Get that man an A for effort, Damon. He gets up off the turf, fights off the defender, and picks up the first down. That man, it must be a contract season for that young man.
It has to be. Well, it's a contract season for everyone, Eddie Gage. We're all on 1-year contracts. 5-yard pickup by Flash there. So everybody's playing for a new contract. Here's Sully Richardson with a handoff into Logan Jacks. Oh, nice stop and go there.
You know, DJ Moses has been doing a lot of that stop and go running lately. I can't stand when he does. I'm like, bro, just keep going, man. What are you doing?
A 6-yard pickup by Logan Jack. I was just about to say Jack Flash. Logan Jack there on that run. 2nd and 4.
Air slot, 2 tight ends to his right.
Slot. 3-4 is the defense. 5-step drop here by Richardson. Dump it off here to Jack. Jack with the spin move. Juke, and he picks up the first down to the 31. 9-yard pickup. They're going to give him the first down.
Logan Jack is the bell cow if there ever was any of this offense. He is what the offense is for this team of what Ezekiel Love used to be prior to this season for Portland.
4 wide receivers. Looks like 3 wide receivers in the tight end. That is Jack Flash at the top of the trips. And my goodness, Logan Jack is hit hard in the backfield. Goes nowhere. 2nd and 10 at the 31 of Portland. 4-3 is the defense. 2-step drop here by Richardson. Throws it to Jack in the flats and nowhere to go. And Bailey is going to call a timeout after losing 2 yards from the play.
And there was absolutely no one open downfield, Demond. I mean, no one open. He had the out route, but he didn't look over there in time and dumped the ball off. But great job by Portland playing defense this afternoon.
The screen monitor is calling for the defense. 5 wide receivers. Gun tray open. 3-2 down defense here for Portland. Richardson steps back. Out route to the top of the field. Not going to be enough for the first down. They're going to call him incomplete. 4th and 8. They're going to settle for 3.
They marked that incomplete. I thought he actually got both feet in, Demond. And look at the replay. Yeah, he clearly got both feet in. I think that's a catch, Demond. It is. They ruled that a catch, but it's just going to be 8 yards short of the end zone.
Okay, so it was a completion.
Correct.
Looks like he got down to the 29-yard line. 4-yard pickup on the gain. I really couldn't see it.
46-yard field goal attempt from here.
Good thing that this is indoors. You got to worry about the wind.
Yeah.
And that field goal attempt there is good by Sid O'Lindy.
Remains perfect on the season, Demond. Coming into this game, he was perfect, and right now he still is.
It's very awesome. I mean, to be in week 9, your kicker is haven't missed a field goal all season long. The SFL Weekly Fantasy Contest is officially up and running. Think you can draft the best team every week while staying under the salary cap, or maybe just want to enhance your SFL experience? Free to play, no season-long commitment, and a new contest opens each and every week. On Tuesday night, join now and show off your fantasy skills to the rest of the league. Contact Jack Wall, Stephen Hacker, or Hunter Norwood to join today.
I came in 2nd place overall last week, Demond, behind Swole.
I forgot to play last week, to be honest with you. And I didn't think about it until the game started on Friday night. So here's a handoff here to Ezekiel Love. Good move by Love. He picks up 4.
Yeah, I thought he might have been out of there for a second. He made that first man miss, and he had space between him and the safety. I thought he might have been off to the races, Demond, but they did a great job of corralling to the ball and bringing him down.
I thought he
plays
was
with 5 tackles already. What is this, far jokers?
5-step drop here by Job. Job got an out route to the top of the field. It's to Gene Valentine, who picks up the first down.
And gets out of bounds.
Get out of bounds. Stop the clock. clock ends in triple zero. That's going to be the end of the half. You're watching the Simulated Football League presented by APM Music.
And welcome to the APM Music Halftime Report along with Mike St. Green. I'm Cameron Irvine, and it's 14-10. Portland leads Los Angeles at the half. Game lives up to the billing, Mike, as the Portland Fleet and LA Lycans both had some long, steady drives with a mix of run and pass, just as we expected coming into this game. And actually, Portland's defense has stood up quite well.
Yeah, it's been a well-played first half, and as you mentioned, yeah, that Portland defense, they've done a good job of, keeping LA, with, just kind of boxed up a little bit. Logan Jack, he's had a solid first half rushing the ball, and he has gotten involved in the passing game a little bit, which is great to see for that LA Lycans offense. But Cyrus Jive, man, he's doing Cyrus Jive type things again in this game. High completion percentage, a couple of touchdown passes under his belt already, and Portland finds themselves up 14-10 going into the half.
Just one incompletion for Cyrus Jive last we looked, and he did have a second one, but 11-13, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He is leading Portland steadily once again as they try to get to 3-5. If they do get to 3-5, it would be Vancouver 4-4, LA 3-5, and Portland 3-5 with 4 games to go. So that would be an exciting finish in the Pacific. If LA wins, then it'll be LA and Vancouver tied at the top once again, as those two have battled pretty much since the Pacific Division was implemented. So that's a look at your first half there. And we had some good games yesterday. Let's run through them, the best of Saturday. Let's start in the South, Fort Worth hosting Atlanta. Good start for the Swarm yesterday. They have really been not playing their best football, but that's Bryant Dynasty to boot. Chisholm put Atlanta up 7-0, but here they are down 13-7. And this has been the magic of Fort Worth lately, Mike. Marcus Dunhill to Stephen Hacker. They have let Marcus cook, and Fort Worth's really playing better because of it.
It's been the magic of Fort Worth and the Achilles heel of Atlanta. Atlanta, they've really been getting scorched in the passing game, and we see Marcus Dunhill right there burning his old team, hitting Stephen Hacker for the touchdown.
Fort Worth wearing their Panther Island uniforms. Of course, Fort Worth known as the Panther City. That's a touchdown for Jason Williams. It's 30-7 at this point. But Atlanta didn't go away. BDG Hollywood with the touchdown there makes it 30-14. And then with 2:15 to go, it's just kind of the story of the game. Like every time Atlanta would start to get back in it, they would make a play like that hurt them. That pass picked off by E.K. Vincent. This is Dynasty to Siege Falco. Down 19 with under 6 to go. Atlanta still fighting. Dynasty to Honus Adobe in the end zone. That's a catch, but too little too late. Fort Worth would hold on to win 36-21. And the Toros are now 5-3. In the crowded South, we continue in Denton, Houston at Lone Star yesterday on Next Level Sports, and it was all Houston in the first half. Dave Bird of DR Sim there.
Yeah, great start by the Headhunters with Bird dropping back and finding DR Sim in the back of the end zone to get Houston off to a great start.
17-3, and Lone Star trying to get the deep passing game going, but that pass is picked off going the other way. And still all Headhunters in the first half. Just a few seconds later, it's Burr over to Mike St. Green. What do you know? With the first down at the Lone Star 36-yard line. I give Mike a lot of crap on this show, but he is quite a great receiver, actually. And Dave Bird here to GP Wells, and Wells is out of there. Untouched, 36 yards for the touchdown, Mike.
Yeah, GP Wells, he is probably one of the most explosive backs in the league that we see him do his thing right there, go 45 yards plus for the touchdown to put Houston up big 24-3.
24-3, Houston. It looked like the Headhunters were going to cruise, but then the second half happened. Now 24-10, midway through the third quarter. Ace Fennick to Greg Soto makes two people miss. 24-17 now, and almost a carbon copy of the well, actually, no, we're going to go to 4:20 to go in the third, and Fennick is going to go deep down the field, and that pass would have been picked off in the first half. Josh Rowe nearly got it, but Ziggy Hronik pulls it off. 24-20 now, and this is Albert Begin with the interception with 7:52 to go in the fourth. Albert Begin was the player of this game, Mike. 3 interceptions and 9 solo tackles.
Yeah, Albert Begin had a big game, and that pick right there really put Lone Star in good shape. They were down 4 at this particular time, midway through the fourth, and this put them in good shape to have a chance to take the lead in the game.
24-20, 6 minutes to go off the Albert Begin interception. Ace Fennick goes over to Garrison Blue, and he takes a nap in the end zone because Lone Star's work was done. They get the comeback, 17 unanswered. Last play of the game here for Houston. Dave Bird down 3 all of a sudden, hit DR Sim, but the pass too far out ahead of him. Sim dove to caught it. Houston was out of timeouts, and Lone Star comes back from 24-3 down 24-10 at the half, and won 27-24 to muck up the South. Charleston at DC. This was the Kevin Say show. Mike St. Green, he was magnificent last night. Gets a touchdown there, up 10-0, and Kevin Say is out of there again. See you later.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of this from Kevin Say over the past couple of seasons. We haven't seen much of it this season, but, man, Kevin Say takes another long one, and he had an excellent night last night, Cam.
Offensive coordinator Stephen Mullinex made a good point to me after the game. He said, this time last year was when Kevin Say started to disappear on us. This time last year, DC started to go into a shell, and they just didn't look right down the stretch of last season. They have not had those problems so far here in season 19. Down 24-6. Welcome to the game. Keith Swearingen held under 10 rushing yards. He was second in the SFL in rushing yards coming into this one, Mike. Held under 10 rushing yards. This was his big play of the night, trying to get Charleston back in it.
Yeah, Keith Swearingen being held, in check like that is very unusual. And we see him here coming out of the backfield with a nice spin move and gets Charleston inside the red zone, threatening the DC goal line.
But Charleston, just like much of the night, they had to settle for a field goal in the red zone, and that would prove to be the Predators' downfall. We've seen it time and time again, Mike. We see the great teams get touchdowns in the red zone, and the good teams get field goals, and that was another field goal for Charleston, made it 24-9. The very next play, the very next series for DC, empty backfield, 1st and 10. DC says enough is enough. We're putting them away. Mike Churchill breaks a tackle and is gone, and the DC Dragons improve to 7-1. They run away from the Charleston Predators in that one. So That's a look at the best of Saturday night. Baltimore also blew out Indianapolis 55-28. They remain unbeaten. So far, the top four continue to hold the status quo. Mike, earlier tonight, London did not cover their 30.5-point spread on Seattle, but they did comfortably cruise. Baltimore gets the win. Mexico City was off, and D.C. is now 7-1, dropping the Aztecs down to 4th. But this top four, it seems like nobody's stopping them anytime soon.
Yeah, this top four is really starting to set themselves apart a little bit. I mean, the playoffs, Cam, I mean, we still have a little over a month to go before we start worrying about the playoffs. But what I think is very interesting, the only teams in that top four that, will face each other during the regular season will be DC and Baltimore, with a big Week 14 matchup coming up. That these guys are in for a head-on collision, and that could be a no-loss team going up against a one-loss team. And DC's only loss came in Week 1 to that very same Baltimore Vultures team. But this top four, they've been playing excellent all season long, and not because he's on the broadcast, Cam. I'll add one more team that's really looking good over the past few weeks. They're on a winning streak of their own. The Arizona Scorpions, they've been looking really good over the past few weeks, and they look like they're a strong contender, for an SFL title as well.
And with Tulsa losing, they are headed into their bye at 6-2 as the 5 seed. That's Arizona. So we'll see what they look like in a couple of weeks when they return to the field of play. A couple teams going on right now that have not been in the playoff picture but are creeping up. That's the Canton Classics, 3 wins in a row at Motor City tonight, 3:40 to go in the second quarter over there, and Canton is up 13-0. Motor City's offensive woes continuing. They have 35 passing yards right now, and they almost just turned the ball over on a fumble. But Canton is continuing to impress. They're on their way to their 4th win in a row, although still a close game in the second quarter.
Yeah, Canton, they really have figured something out. They had the bye week after, Week 4 when they were 0-4. And Cam, they totally look like a totally different team in the past 4 weeks. They're dominating the VH right now. And I truly don't understand what the V8s have decided to do offensively. These guys were airing the ball out. Creative was leading the league in passing, and they've just, totally imploded over the past few weeks. They were sacked 10 times last week. The offense looks pretty much, dormant right now in the first half of this game. And it's just kind of hard to figure out. But Canton, hats off to them. They're doing a great job of making the V8s look bad right here in the first half.
Yeah, Motor City, I mean, you just said it. They just went 3 and out again. I mean, it's just been a total implosion offensively. And it really looked like they had a lot of promise to start the season. I mean, it looked like creativity had won the day, but it quickly wore off as the season wore on. And that's why you play a 12-game season, Mike. That's why you can't be judged in the first 4 weeks or 8 weeks. So you got to play through the whole season to really see who your contenders are. And I think, no doubt, we have a top 4 this season that any one of those 4 could win a title. You could throw Arizona in there too. They're 6-2 and playing their best football right now. Ashley Jackson has been outstanding, as has a guy like Cyrus Jive for Portland. I mean, those two in particular come to mind when talking about completion percentages. They've just been off the charts, and Jackson is actually number 1 coming into the week in completion percentage. And if Jive keeps having games like this, he's not going to be far behind her. So Portland's up on Los Angeles 14-10 at the half. What are you looking for as an X factor in the second half, Mike? Because this game really could go either way. Anyone could step up and be a hero, because we've seen a lot of good play tonight.
For LA, maybe the defense could maybe force a turnover, which is going to be extremely hard to do. As we mentioned, Cyrus Jive, he takes care of the ball very well, but that's what that defense over there in LA, they like to create turnovers. And one thing that we haven't seen that Portland's really done a good job of is keeping that defensive line off of Jive and keeping a clean pocket. So maybe if LA can, pressure him a little bit, at least maybe force a turnover, that would be a big difference for them. But I would just like to see Portland, in particular offensively, just keep doing what they're doing, moving the ball, staying efficient, and maybe hit a big play to Gene Valentine or one of their great receivers to maybe get them, a leg up in this game.
A special programming note, no SFL next weekend on Next Level Sports due to a variety of things around here. But we will have a special Thursday afternoon game between Mexico City and Atlanta. You'll get to see the legendary Matt Wilson and the top 4 Mexico City Aztecs go to Atlanta to face Bryant Dynasty as the Swarm try to save their season at 3-5. That's Thursday at 6:30 Eastern, right here on Next Level Sports. No games next Saturday or Sunday, but we'll be back to our regular weekend programming in Week 10. Mike and I will preview that game a little bit more in post-game, but for now, we'll get you back to DeMond and Eddie after this commercial break. Portland leads LA 14-10. We're in for an exciting second half here on NXT. Thanks for being with us here at the studio, and we'll see you back here to wrap things up tonight.
All right, everybody, welcome back here to the start of the third quarter as Portland is up 14-10 on the Los Angeles Lycans. And the Lycans will be kicking the ball off to the Portland Fleet to start the second half of the ball game. And here's going to be returned here by Portland, and it's going to be tackled and brought down at the 24-yard line where Portland will start their drive. Gage, can you give me your insight on, both of these teams? We saw heavy running in the first half, and as Cam and Mike discussed in the broadcast, that Cyrus Jive has been pretty much accurate in the first half, 11 of 13 in passing. But what do you think got to get things going here for LA to going forward here in the second half?
I would like to see LA get Sully more attention.
Oh,
Ezekiel Love.
There go Ezekiel Love, and Love is going to be taking that to the house. And my goodness, that's a 76-yard touchdown run by Ezekiel Love. Wow.
That's a prime example of why I do not like talking during plays, because things like that just happen. Ezekiel Love said, hold on, guys, put the camera on me. As he breaks out, gets out ahead of the defense, makes one man miss, spins off another, and is gone to the house for a touchdown. And don't look now, but Portland has a 2-score lead on LA.
And that's going to be your cap right here, as what is it that LA needs to do to get right back into this ball game?
Well, to answer your question now, I think they have to get Sully more opportunities to get the ball downfield. I mean, he only attempted 16 passes, but they went for 75 yards. He's going to need more productivity vertically down the field and just give something for this defense to think about. Otherwise, they just continue to squat on these football passes and just taking everything away short. They're going to force you to take the ball and make deeper pass attempts downfield.
Scoring drive. One play, 76 yards, 16 seconds.
And about 12 of that was Ezekiel Love dashing downfield.
And let's visit the SFL website at simulationfl.net for more info about the league and its 28 teams, all the places you can watch live games, plus links to apparel from Sector 6 and SFL mini helmets from 97 Sports Promotions. See all the league's records, stats, team stats, player leaderboards, the rankings, and the next class of SFL talent, and so much more. SimulationFL.net, your home for everything SFL.
A lot of data on that website.
A lot of data. You're not lying about that one.
Standings, statistics, all-time statistics, Hall of Fame, nominations, all of that stuff is on there.
Here comes LA out in a weak spread formation here. 4-2 nickel is the defense of Portland. Right across the middle of the field, that pass is going to be incomplete.
And it's a prime example, Damon, of what I'm talking about. You don't have any receivers challenging this defense vertically downfield. You had one, but he got bumped off his route, which made it very easy for them to just sit there and squat and just wait for the ball to come to them. You got to give this defense something to think about.
Yeah, you do. And we haven't seen LA target downfield as much. I want to say maybe once, if I'm not mistaken. Two-step drop hit by Richardson. Richardson right down the middle of the field. Got a man on the catch there. I want to say that is to the 42-yard line. That's going to be a 16-yard pickup from the catch from Chris Lee.
And that's a Baltimore special back there, back when TJ Speaks was coaching the offense. Nowadays, T-Pat does it, but back in those days, 90Z Arrow, you could find throughout their playbook, and they made a living out of that play.
The longest play of the day for LA has been 16 yards on 2 receptions and 2 different targets. There's another pass right down the middle of the field to Chris Lee, and he picks up another first down.
You don't have to necessarily throw it to the receiver running vertically downfield, but you have to pose the threat of getting downfield. You can still have him run vertically, clear out the defense, out the zone, and dump the ball out to get some significant yardage downfield that way too.
12-yard pickup on the previous play. They come out here in the same formation where they got the last first down on, right across the middle of the field. It's going to be a 1-yard pickup there, maybe 2.
That was a play that you in Atlanta like to run. I think that was 90Z shallow cross or 90X shallow cross. And great job. It's more meant to attack defenses playing man coverage, but they were able to pick up 2 yards regardless.
Well, that's not why I use it to attack the man coverage, but to each his own. Big pressure here, but Sully does go deep. Got the reception from the 43-yard line, and that is going to be a 43-yard touchdown. Pass completion to his wide receiver. Was that Shea Carroll? No, it wasn't. It was Elsie Pryor on the reception, and Elsie just crosses Hollywood Boulevard for the first time today.
Elsie Pryor, they finally decided to attack this defense vertically, and you can see Bernard Smith playing too shallow as they're accustomed to playing those shallow routes. Did not get on his back pedal quick enough and get out of that zone coverage and bail up out of there to cover the receiver. And as a result, LA responds to that one-play drive that Portland had a moment ago to get right back into this contest.
Yeah, it's hilarious how we talked about that LA was not targeting this. I mean, we're testing this defense, should we say, going deep, and they come away with that 43-yard bomb there to Elsie Pryor to pick up the first down. And this is looks like things are starting to heat up. This is only a 4-point ball game now. Anything can happen within the next. Within the rest of this game, as we sitting on 20 minutes?
20 minutes and 8 seconds. A lot of football left.
A lot of football left to be played here. Here's a return out to the 27.
Out to the 27-yard line. Let's see how Portland responds to that drive in which LA answered their drive. Let's see if Portland continues to put the pressure on this LA defense.
Well, if they answer with a one-play touchdown again, we may have to test this guy for HGH. So here is Portland. Handoff. There's going to be a strong G toss. Ezekiel Love. Tackled and brought down at the 35.
I've noticed that play was added to the Houston playbook a season or two ago as well, Damon.
Yeah, and everybody started using it.
Myself included.
8-yard pickup there for Ezekiel Love. I mean, hey, if somebody sees something that works, you best believe they're going to, try and use that play to their strength as well. Here is Cyrus Jive, dump off to Ezekiel Love. Love the way how he caught Love there and stride to make that catch and picks up the first down barely.
That was a very favorable spot. You can tell that Portland is the home teams. I thought he was short of the line of gain, Amon.
I thought it was like right at the line of scrimmage. But they were at the 35-yard line. They are at the 38, so 3-yard pickup there.
Ace. Stretch.
Here's Ezekiel Love again, and Love is tackled right at the line of scrimmage.
Very good defense by LA, remaining disciplined. Portland comes out with 2 tight ends, one to each side of the quarterback. You got to defend the edges in this play, and LA did a great job of doing just that.
Yeah, Izzy Blackwell once again on the tackle. I want to say that's her second for the night.
This is definitely turf because her jersey looks very clean.
Here's Ezekiel Love with another handout. Got a big block, another big block out in front of him after that spin move. Out to the 48-yard line of LA, and that is going to be a 14-yard pickup for Ezekiel Love. Take a look at the replay here.
Yeah, Jacob Farmer got out to the second level and put his helmet dead in the chest of Ray Colston and got her off the ball and allowed Ezekiel to pick up a few more yards.
Nice block there by the fullback. A look at Gene Valentine. Haven't heard his name called here much today. Gene only has, I want to say, 1 reception, if I'm not mistaken, 2. Matter of fact, here's Love. Love is running hard tonight.
Earning that paycheck.
Every penny of it.
Well, he got a lot of energy, He left the game early in the first quarter last week versus Canton, so he should have fresh legs at this point.
2nd and 6 at LA's 45-yard line here for the Portland Fleet. They come out in the split pro formation. 4-3 is the defense. Look at the strong free safety playing up in the close to the box. And man, Ray Colston comes up from the free safety spot to lay a hit on Ezekiel Love.
We were just talking about how the fullback knocked her out the game, or at least momentarily, but she comes right back and says, hey, this is what girls hit like. Follow my lead.
2-yard pickup there for Ezekiel. Come out in trips. Out route to the bottom of the field. That's going to be complete for a first down. And that is to receiver
Benjamin Warner.
I couldn't see my numbers there. Yeah, Benjamin Warner was. And he picks up the first down there. 1st and 10 at the 37 of LA.
We've seen Portland run out of that formation, which you don't see a lot of SFL teams do. And now they hit the quick pass on the out route. Man defense by LA.
Shotgun formation here for Cyrus Jive. Going right across the middle to Ezekiel Love. Picks up 1 yard. We're going to take you to SFL headquarters for a game update. Cam, take it away.
Thank you, Damon. Canton Classics defense dominating here tonight, Mike.
Yeah, they're doing a great job on defense, and here's Evan Lacey with his first interception of the season, Cameron. He preserved the shutout, and this also led to a Robert Johnson touchdown, and now Canton leading 23-0.
23-0 extra point pending. Canton over Motor City. Back to Damon and Eddie in Portland.
That duo for Canton has been rolling, Damon. Evan Lacey and Bob Funk. Bob Funk, I think, is one of the league leaders in interceptions right now.
My. Here is Portland, and the guns left. I'm sorry, quads. The gun quads left. There's a slant right at post route, should I say, to Gene Valentine right across the middle there to pick up the first down to the 21-yard line.
Efficiently moving the ball downfield. First, they made Ezekiel Love, added him to the SFL's top 10 playlist for the week with that long touchdown run a moment ago, and now they're respecting the run game. They're hitting them with the quick hitter passing game.
Yeah, 16-yard pickup there by Valentine. Come out here in a weak jokers here. So weak wing jokers. It's a Jacks. One of the two. Picks up 2 yards.
Picks up 2 yards on the play. Cornerback Jack Haxo assists on the tackle. Not an easy task bringing him down once he gets to the edge.
Cyrus Drive with 130 QBR on the day. 16 of 18 through the air. 88%. Here is Ezekiel Love once again, and Love is tackled and brought down. Look who it is again. Eddie Gage is Easy Blackwell.
Tazzy on the tackle.
Tazzy.
Yeah, Tazzy on the tackle, and just in time, as you can see, pre-snap, she shifted to the weak side of the offense just in time. Had she not, Ezekiel Love may have been dancing in the end zone, DeMond.
Yeah, she is basically probably a spy on Love. It's probably what her assignment was coming out of the halftime break. Same formation, and Ezekiel Love going to pick up maybe 2 yards. Going to give him down to the 13.
Yeah, great tackle by the defense there, holding on for dear life, trying to bring Ezekiel Love down. That is no easy task.
Oh, it was the backup on the play. Okay, gotcha. And Portland's going to have to settle for a field goal here. Just like some 30-yard attempt. There's a snap to hold. The kick is up.
It's good, DeMond.
It's good. That it is. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music. We're going to go to a commercial break. We will see you in just a few moments. Coverage of the Simulation Football League on Next Level Sports continues on a special night this week. Thursday before Pro Football Elsewhere kicks off in another season at 6:30 p.m. Atlanta attempts to save their season and welcome the legendary Matt Wilson and the Mexico City Aztecs. Plus, live look-ins on Sioux Falls and Charleston for a channel guide. For more info about NXT, visit NLSE.com.
I'm gonna save your season, and you got Mexico City coming to town.
It's
It's a tough task.
That sure is a tough task. Here is the Los Angeles Lycans starting at their own 22-yard line. Here is Logan Jack. Jack makes a man spin, almost picks up the first down, 2nd and 1.
And had Logan Jack broken that tackle, it would have been a foot race to the end zone, Damon.
It would have been a foot race to the end zone. You're absolutely correct there.
Dale McClain, that was probably a touchdown saving tackle right there.
I'm not going to say probably. It was. 'Cause I don't think anybody was catching Logan Jack from behind. Come out in a power I formation here. And here is Logan Jack spin move.
Oh!
Jack breaks that tackle there.
Yeah. And that time,
From
former
Bernard Smith.
former Scorpion Bernard Smith with the touchdown saving tackle. Anytime your safeties are the last line of defense between the running back and the end zone, that's never a good sign.
Mm-hmm. 1st and 10 from the 34. Here's LA. Same formation. Give it off to Jack. Jack is blowed up in the backfield. You got to give credit on that tackle. I think that's probably a non-contract player. Yeah, it is 50, number 50, Tim Fannin.
Great job wrapping them up.
2nd and 11. They're going to give Logan Jack a loss of yard there. Here is Sully Richardson out route to the bottom of the field. He got his receiver, picks up the first down. 88, Chris Lee.
And I would have loved to see Sully audible right there to something deeper downfield as the safety was lined up about 4 yards off the line of scrimmage. They are daring this LA team to throw the ball deep downfield.
First and 10 at the 45 here. Sully Richards going to hand off here to Logan Jack. Jack spin move, but hitting the backfield. He's going to lose a couple of yards there, maybe 1 yard, should we say.
Yeah, he got hit in the back, too, trying to spin out of that tackle.
Yeah, he's lucky he didn't get hurt.
Yeah, those hurt, man. Take it from me, I know.
Is there a story behind that?
Let's just say I coughed the football up once, getting popped in the back like that.
Ouch. We got spread. 2-step drop here by Richardson.
Ooh. Richardson
got his lead right across the middle of the field for a first down and more. Out to the 34-yard line of Portland for a 22-yard pickup.
That's what they need. They need more of that. And again, they don't need the receiver to necessarily be targeted as a primary receiver on a play. They just need them to be involved to get these cornerbacks and these safeties dropping back.
And that wasn't quickly. That was Elsie Pryor on the reception. Hey, that's going to be the end of the third quarter. Put your 4s in the chat along with your 86, your 12, and your 68. Welcome back to the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music. You're watching the SFL live on Next Level Sports. Here is Sully Richardson on a drop back out to Logan Jack, and Jack is blowed up at the 32-yard line.
It is so hard preparing for this Portland defense. We've seen them play the 3-4, the 4-3. Here they come out in the 4-4. You just don't know what to expect and when.
That was a strong hit by the defense.
And they blitzed out of that play too, Damon.
Here is Richardson, 5-step drive down the field, got his man. This time it is to
The 86, Jack Flash.
what is it, tight end Jack Flash. There's about 3 players for LA that have gray sleeves, and they're all confusing me, but I can't tell who is who.
Well, Jack's is yellow, so.
That's why. Did I say blue? I meant to say yellow sleeves.
You said gray, but it's all good. We're a team.
Did I say gray? That was way off. My goodness, am I colorblind?
No, just old.
Just old? I'll take old because I do not want to be colorblind. Here is Sully Richardson again. My daughter's in the background, and she said, "Yes, I am colorblind."
Chris leading reception, and Damon, every time almost we've seen LA attack this Portland defense vertically, they've had success.
They have, and you would wonder or think that they would do more of that, but LA, as we stated earlier, LA is one of those teams where they do not like putting the ball in harm's way. So you won't see them throwing the ball deep as much as most teams. There's a handoff here to Rahman, and Rahman is going to pick up 2 yards and pick up the first down.
I wanted to see the birthday boy score that touchdown for a moment there. I thought he was going to get in, but they did a great job of closing that gap up and bringing him down. But I thought he was short of the line of game, though. But he's been in some favorable spots tonight.
They come out in power. They just may give it to him. No, they're going to go to Logan Jack in the flash. Jack picks up the touchdown.
Jack Flash catches the pass short of the line of game, drags the defender into the end zone, gets up, drops the football in his lap, and says, "Weight room, young man."
And with that touchdown, that puts LA down by 1 point, and with the extra point attempt, they can tie the ball game up at 24.
Better tie this ball game up at 24, because if he misses this extra point, he's going to have a long walk back to that sideline.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone miss an extra point in this game, but there have been a few blocks. So.
There you go with the commentator's curse, Damon. I'm gonna just be quiet.
Let's see what happens. Okay.
Had that gotten blocked, had that gotten blocked, Tom Rahman might have head straight up here. Now they're just gonna get out the way and just point to you.
There he is. That extra point attempt does tie the ball game up all at 24. APM Music is unraveled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collections, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and to find the perfect tracks for your project, visit apmmusic.com.
On that last drive, Damon, Sully Richardson passed up Josh Miller for 13th all-time in pass attempts. Congratulations, young man.
1st and 10 here for Portland at the 23-yard line. Gonna give it off here to Ezekiel Love. Got a man out blocking for him. Love is fumble. Oh, and he fumbles it. And it looks like LA recovers it.
They did, Damon. It's
Wow.
gonna be LA football. And I was just about to criticize them because the play they came out in, they was basically giving you the edges, trying to take away the inside run game, but they ran a stretch play. But Ezekiel Love does not believe in ball security in this play, and he coughs it up. LA gets the ball right back.
Wow, and guess what? They're in Portland territory. So
44
they're
yard line.
in great field position after picking up that touchdown on that long drive there, the previous drive. Force a fumble here. LA can take full momentum of this ball game if they can get another score here. Here's another handoff here to Logan Jack. Jack almost had a breakaway burst speed going there, and he's out to the 38-yard line on that 6-yard pickup.
Wow, I thought he was out of there for a moment, Damon.
And the neighbor's dog is like barking. Here's a 5-step drop here by Richardson. Out route to Jack, and Jack is going to go out of bounds there. We're going to head over to a commercial break. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music live on Next Level Sports. Everybody, welcome back to the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music. You're watching us live here on Next Level Sports. The all-tied ball game here between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Portland Fleet. LA has the ball on Portland's 38-yard line. Is pump fake there. That pass is deflected away by the Portland defensive secondary.
Yeah, and if you are a fan of the LA Lakers, you're screaming for pass interference, but I thought that was actually very good defense by Portland at the top of the route. Just kind of nudged the receiver just a little bit as they were both going for the football.
It looks like Brody Goach, the outside linebacker, was playing deep coverage across the middle there, hipping out that secondary, not allowing anything to get behind the defensive backs there, as we've saw previous players get behind them early in the fourth quarter. And this punt gauge is going to be filled inside.
Oh,
no, they're going to say he crossed the goal line.
He did cross it. That's terrible. You messed with that punter's money right there.
He came in sliding like he was in the snow. Like,
come on, that's unacceptable.
So Portland takes over after
Dodges
that
a bullet
fumble by
Ezekiel fumble. Yeah.
Ezekiel Love. And they come out in a strong ice spread. 3-step drop here by Job.
My goodness.
Job gets away from that defender there and throws it out of bounds, and Love is going to step out.
He threw that ball to Ezekiel Love and didn't even bother looking to see if there was a defender in the area. I remember Florida did that in our game last season, and we took it back to the house on a pick six on a play just like that. Can't make that throw.
Jive only have 2 incompletions so far on the day. 17 of 19. Dump off to Ezekiel Love in the flat. There's a spin move by Love. Love out to the 28-yard line. Sorry, 26-yard line.
You know, one player I have not seen from Portland today, and I'm not sure if they perhaps may removed it from the game plan, but they have a play action pass out of, I believe it's weak eye spread, that's designed to go to their deep threat. And so far today, we have not seen it.
We haven't seen much of Nelson Lozano either.
Replay.
As an
There it is,
encroachment.
right there, Damon. There it is. Oh, take it down.
Checked it down to Ezekiel Love. Probably didn't want to throw the ball in harm's way, but that's a free play. Might as well go for the juggler there.
Well, he was covered too. So, but there it was. I mean, I just talked about it. Weak eye spread, and that's that play action. But I'm gonna start calling myself Ramos Stradamus in a minute. But I thought he was gonna hit him with it. But LA did a great job of covering it.
So the call was an encroachment on the defensive tackle for LA. And Portland's going to come out here with the 3rd and inches at their own 30-yard line. Handout to Ezekiel
goodness.
Love. Love barely picks up the first down as oh my goodness. He could have pulled a hamstring on that play as hard as he was trying to get those legs moving.
Buddy Blaze had him tackled in the backfield for about a 2-yard loss, and he just lowered his shoulder and said, I would not be denied. Great play by Ezekiel.
Ezekiel Love, 24 attempts, 195 yards, and 1 touchdown, long of 76 on the day. I formation pro set. Handoff here to Love. Love gets a 3-yard gain there. Out to the
Today,
30.
Ezekiel has been a play away from making a number of house calls with his run game, and he's just been coming up just short. Does he have one more in him, Damon?
He might have one more in him. He might.
Here's 2 corners again.
But LA might probably have something to say about that. And they do. They answer the call there. The defense does show up. 56 was the first one to get there, Chad Stinson.
And that's exactly what I talked about earlier, that 2 corners defense, it takes those stretch plays away, but somehow Ezekiel Love was able to make him pay with that play early in this game. But this time they play it right and bring Ezekiel down for a loss.
3rd and forever here for Portland. Here's Jive. Jive goes right across the field, and he got Israel Adams, his favorite target so far of the day. Israel Adams has been his number 1 target, as I stated, who has 4. That's his 4th reception, and only has 19 yards. I thought he would have had more than that, but he has the most targets, should I say, receptions on the day.
Yeah, both teams have not necessarily challenged the defense vertically, but Portland right now, they got a chance to make something happen here.
Here's Ezekiel Love, hit hard in the backfield for a 5-yard loss.
Yeah, and I'm starting to wonder. I mean, LA is starting to catch on to this run game and what they're trying to do. They're trying to attack the edges of this LA defense, but LA, they did their homework. They come out with 2 corners in the playbook, and so far it's paid dividends for them.
Portland at their own 37-yard line, 2nd and 14. Before y'all lost there for Ezekiel Love. There's a 3-step drop hit by Jive. Jive gets pressured, hit, and brought down, but he got the ball out before he was tackled.
Yeah, and that time, once again, they brought the safety down the box, trying to take away anything short, forcing the offense to look deep down the field, but the defensive line did a great job getting penetration.
Gary Marks was the player that got the pressure on Cyrus Jive. Portland comes out here in a gun quads left. 90-yard slants. That pass is caught and complete once again to Israel Adams. 5th reception of the day.
Yeah, and LA actually sniffed this play out pretty good. They came in with inside leverage on every receiver, and yet they still were able to break the press. Israel Adams and pick up the first down. That's the 2nd time tonight we've seen him break that press and pick up a first down. The first time it resulted in a touchdown. This time he moves the chains.
18-yard pickup on that play from Jive to Adams. Single back, strong G toss here to Ezekiel Love. Love cut it in just a little bit too early he stayed outside and allowed the guard to continue on that pull, he may be running up the sideline.
Ray Colston did a great job of cutting off the edge and forcing him back inside. She's a sure-handed tackler. And at this point in the game, with a tie ball game, this is what Max Paul likes to call lemon booty time.
Gun quads left.
Again.
90-yard slants. They're going to dump it off here to Love in the flags. And I think he should have went to one of the receivers instead.
Yeah, I thought he had Israel Adams open again. Look at the replay he did. He was wide open. Not sure why he didn't throw it to him because he was open for a first down.
3rd and 7 here now for Portland. They most definitely need this field goal or to get inside of the 30-yard lines for a nice field goal attempt. Well, if they get inside the 30, they most definitely inside the 35. They most definitely have the first down. At LA's 41, out route gonna come up short. Pass caught, looks like by Israel Adams.
Gonna be
It is
short.
Adams on the reception.
Damon, it's the 37-yard line. It's 4th and 2. Are you going for it right now?
Well, you're in enemy territory. I would most definitely like to go for it here. Don't want to punt it because just see what can happen.
They're going for it. At least they're going to act like they are. Let's see what they do. And this is 2 corners again.
I wouldn't call the toss here.
No. Oh, they're going to burn the timeout, Damon.
Yeah.
See, you're at the point of the ball game on the 37-yard line. You're almost too close to punting because it has to be like a pooch punt. So what are you going to gain out of that? Like maybe 15, maybe 20 yards of real estate? Or do you go for it there on 4th and 2?
Yeah.
I know my defensive guy, but I'm probably going to go for it right there, Damon.
I'm with you. I mean, you're under 3 minutes. It's 4th and 2. Your running back has been playing outstanding all game long, besides a few carries here on this drive where he was hitting backfield. But I would most definitely would have called out jumbo package or something like that, I-loads, I-jacks or so, and we're running straight up the middle, and then LA brings pressure on this punt.
Great punt, too.
And that's a big bounce. And,
okay.
They're going to down LA inside the 5. Looks like right at the 5-yard line.
5-yard line, that's where he initially touched the football, and for a moment there, I thought he was going to bobble it. It's going to fall into the end zone.
That's what I thought, too.
And the punter, once again, would have had some words for him. But then again, he's the punter. He's not afraid of him.
1st and 10 for LA at their own 5-yard line. Eddie Gage, it is tough getting out of these type of situations here. When you have the end zone to your back, just 4 yards behind you.
Look at the defense shift to that weak side.
There's
look out.
pressure on Sully, and he gets away with it. My goodness, what a pass.
Yeah, I thought for a moment there he's about to take a sack, and that's the last thing you want to happen as an offense.
Yeah, I thought he was going down as well myself.
Motor City with 13 unanswered points thus far in the 4th quarter.
Will it be enough to come back and win that ball game versus Canton, who has been red hot the past few weeks here in the SFL? They're on a 4-game win streak. Out route to the top of the field. No first down allowed here.
Go hurry up, Damon.
Hurry up here for LA. 15 seconds before the 2-minute warning. Slide. Oh, there's a big sack for the Portland Fleet, and down goes Sully Richardson. He's pounding the ground because he's upset about it. And he had every right to be so. Robert Brewer with the sack. And that's going to be the 2-minute warning. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music. Live on Next Level Sports. See you in just a few minutes. Coming up on the 8 p.m. Music post-game update, Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green wrap up the clash between the Lycans and the Fleet. Plus, first reactions of the Canton and Motor City final and preview next week's Next Level Sports matchup, Mexico City versus Atlanta. It's all coming up on the post-game update. Eddie Gage with that punt there from LA back to Portland.
Great field position.
Great field position here for Portland. I mean, this is probably the best field position they've had all game long at LA's 36-yard line, my guy.
That's probably the best starting field position they received all season long.
Shoot, probably best field position anybody would ever want. First and 10 here for Portland at LA's 36-yard line. We got spread, handed off here with a streak here to Ezekiel Love, and Love puts his foot in the ground and tries the juke move, but nowhere to go after the juke, but he picks up 4 yards there, down to the 30.
I think it's the 31-yard line. And now, if I'm Portland, I'm just going to continue to run the ball until they can stop it and try to force them to burn their timeouts.
Looks like what they're going to do here because they come out in a weak stretch, and he's hitting the backfield.
Ace Blackwell with the initial hit didn't get credited with the tackle on that play, but he's the one who slowed Ezekiel down. And now they're on the outskirts of field goal range. Let's see how aggressive they get here on third down.
That's a 4-yard loss there for Ezekiel Love on that run.
Look for all slants here.
You're right. Look for the all slants. They've been running all night out of this formation. Quads left, and no one is open. Oh, he got a reception from Israel Adams. And Adams has been the go-to guy on that route. I think the slot down here in the bottom was more open than Adams was. Come out here and again. There's Adams, target wide open. They call the timeout this time. That is the LA timeout.
Yeah, forcing to burn those timeouts. And now Portland is in a driver's seat because all they have to do is feed Ezekiel. No one should even touch the ball right here other than the quarterback running back exchange and force LA to go burn through the rest of those timeouts.
Those last 2 receptions by Adams were for a total of 18 yards. Come out in power formation, hand off here to Love. Love is hit 1 yard short of the line of scrimmage.
Now you want to pick up the first down so you can really be in a driver's seat and just essentially take a knee prior to kicking a game-winning field goal. But LA, the good news is they're third down. They have 1 timeout left. If they can stop them here, they have a chance.
Come out in weak jacks. There's a handoff here to Love, down to the ball. He took a shot. Oh my goodness, Buddy Blaze. Was that hit illegal?
Buddy Blaze has made a number of tackles today. That's his 5th solo tackle. He also has 5 assists, including 4 tackles for loss. He's having an outstanding game.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Buddy Blaze leads the team. No, he and Tasley are all tied up at total tackles.
So now LA burns that last timeout. Portland is going to attempt a game-winning field goal here, but there's still time left on the clock.
36-yard field goal attempt. It's good.
It's good.
Right down the middle.
So the mon is 33 seconds left. LA is out of timeouts. We've seen Portland get aggressive on defense. They'd be smart to sit back here, but let's see how aggressive they get, especially in their base defense. We've seen them the most aggressive. Mm-hmm. Can LA catch them at the right time? We'll see.
You're right. We would have to see, but I can assume that I don't think Portland would be. I don't know what word to use. I don't think they. Here it is. I don't think Portland would. I don't think it would be smart for Portland to come out and be aggressive.
I totally agree.
With 28 seconds left on the clock and LA is at their own 24, I think I'll play prevent coverage here throughout the game. But this is the Assimilation Football League. We've seen some crazy things happen. And this is our first time seeing LA in gun straight.
Yeah, first time tonight.
3-2 is the defense. They come out 90 all slants. That pass is
Oh.
caught and complete right across the middle of the field.
They need to spike this ball.
And that was to number 80.
That's exactly what they do.
That was to Pierre Garcon.
So they spike the ball, stop the clock. There's 15 seconds left. You do not have time to attack the middle of the field. These need to be post corner routes, out route, a deep out maybe.
Yeah, you gotta work the sideline. And I think you need to get past the 50-yard line. Let's not try to
Watch for 50 XA posts right here.
watch for the corner
There
post
it
to the
is.
top of the field.
There it
is
is.
the corner post.
There it
caught.
is.
But do they have enough time to get up there and spike it?
Devon, they do not. And the clock's going to run out.
Well, it looks like it stopped at 2 seconds.
No,
Oh,
it stopped
that is. They
yeah.
did not try to go and spike the ball.
They wouldn't have had time.
They didn't even attempt. I mean, at least attempt. Wow, what a way to lose the ball game on the last play of the game. Come up with a big catch to your receiver, and you do not attempt to go and try to spike the ball. I understand that you didn't have the time, but it at least try to attempt, like you saw the Dallas Cowboys did when they played the 49ers in the playoffs last season. There was no time left on the clock, but Dak did try to get back to the line of scrimmage. I think that what LA should have gave some type of effort there to try to make that spike. But hey, that's going to do it. 27-24. Portland comes out of here with a victory over the LA Lycans. And Gage, you and I was talking about how this division is wide open.
Yeah, it's that. With Vancouver, like they said pregame, losing 3 straight games, this division is anyone's for the taking. And LA was in prime position to make it a closer race had they got the win today. But Portland said, not so fast. Do not count us out just yet. They had a 2-game winning streak prior to taking a loss last week versus Canton, but that was with an injured Ezekiel Love who went down early in the first quarter of that ball game. With a healthy Ezekiel Love rushing today for almost 200 yards, they're right back in the mix, and we have a 3-horse race for the Pacific.
But you know what though, Gage? As you just stated, that Ezekiel Love almost had 200 yards rushing. He had 32 attempts. He and Logan Jack at the half was basically neck and neck in the attempts, or should I say carries, at the half. Logan Jack finished with 19 attempts, which is not bad for 78 yards rushing. And LA basically stopped giving Logan Jack the ball coming out of the backfield.
Yeah, he had 15 attempts at the halftime break, only had 4 in the second half, and basically kind of took him out of the ball game. But I won't necessarily get upset about it because they were attacking Portland vertically in the second half. I just think it was a matter of too little too late. Like you said, we didn't even see the shotgun straight formation until they needed it late in the fourth.
Yep, and there it is. The player of the game is Ezekiel Love, 30 attempts for 183 yards rushing. We'll be back with the post-game update with Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green after the break.
Welcome back to SFL Studios for Sim Football Postgame. Along with Mike St. Green, I'm Cameron Irvine, and Portland gets the win 27-24. That is your final. First reactions to this game, Mike?
Really, my first reaction is don't look now, but the Pacific Division is wide open, Cam. I mean, one game separates three teams. Portland has clawed them way back to into this race, and giving themselves a chance coming down the stretch. They're facing a struggling Motor City team in the next game. So man, these guys could be 500 before you know it. But yeah, first reaction though to the game, well played game, no turnovers in this game. Both teams they definitely played like they knew what was on the line, and just an excellent game on both sides, and it came down to the end, and it showed that way.
That last play for Los Angeles, you break a tackle and you're gone. I mean, LA wins the game in a walk-off. That's the play you want right there, that post corner. But excellent tackle on the outside. I think it was Derek Majors that made that play, and Portland's going to 3-5 because of it. And I don't think LA would have had time to spike the ball anyway. And I think you could see the dejection from the loss, Mike, after that play happened. I mean, LA just knew it. But now 3-5, this LA team is just, I mean, they're so close. The good news for Los Angeles is that they're only a game back at the division lead, despite another close loss.
Yeah, and it always seems like we're talking about this with LA. They seem like always come up maybe a step short, especially coming down the stretch a lot of times. I know they did make the playoffs a couple of seasons ago, but I always expect them to be better than what they seem to show record-wise. And I don't know if this year is necessarily one of those years, but the talent is there. Logan Jack, he was great in the first half. We didn't see much out of him in the second half. We did see a big pass play to LZ Pryor there in the second half, but they just can't stay consistent. I would just like to see more consistency out of this team, from week in and week out. And then they've yet to show that to me.
Shout outs to both quarterbacks tonight. Both had 2 touchdowns, no picks. We had no interceptions in this game, which is an SFL rarity, as you know, if you watch at home. We did have the fumble, the Ezekiel Love fumble that I thought was going to give LA enough momentum to go and get the win. But Portland held on, stayed firm, and the Fleet get to 3-5. Canton wins the Battle of the Golden Dog Bone. Although Motor City gave him a scare, got to 23-13. Motor City recovered the onside kick, but then threw an interception on their next drive. And the Canton Classics, Mike St. Green, they have won 4 in a row. They are now 4-4, and they are now squarely, firmly in the thick of the playoff race.
They're definitely right there in the playoff race. And these guys, they kind of played it close to the vest tonight. Their quarterback, Cameron Curtis, only 111 yards passing. But we saw a lot of running back Robert Johnson, the former LA Lycan that came over to Canton this offseason, 153 yards and a big touchdown run that really helped them solidify this game and go up big. And they held on in the end, as you mentioned, with a slight scare towards the end, to hold on and win it. Ibrahim Creator, I just wanted to touch on him for Motor City real quick. He's only had one 300-yard passing game in his last 5 games after starting off leading the league in passing, and that's been a lot of the struggles.
He led the league in passing.
Yes.
3 weeks ago. He led it in passing, and just total fall off for him. It's incredible.
Yeah, and it's just amazing how much that has happened. He did have 246 yards and a touchdown late in this game, but it's just not the consistency that we saw, in week 1, week 2, and week 3. And, Motor City, these guys are going to need to get that turned around to have any chance of outside shot and making the playoffs this season.
And all of a sudden, low-key, we haven't really talked about it much this season, but that North Division has London unbeaten, and then has Canton 4-4, and Queen City's right behind him at 3-4. I mean, the Corsairs, with that huge upset over Vancouver, they're not playing too bad of football here lately either.
Yeah, they've been kind of up and down most of the season until this past weekend with a big win over Vancouver, to keep themselves in line for a possible playoff opportunity, as well as even maybe an outside shot at winning that division. Which would be highly unlikely at this point. We know London is 8-0, and I don't see anybody in front of these guys right now that could, on their schedule remaining, that could really present a threat to them to lose that many games going down the stretch. But yeah, 3-4, 1 game away from 500, and we know, once you get into that 6-7 game, in particular the 6-win plateau, anything can happen in this league as far as playoff opportunities. And it didn't happen last season at 6-6, but this year, several teams coming in after this weekend that are at 500. We might see it this season.
So week 9 is done. Week 10 is around the corner, but it's not a weekend. It's 2 weekdays, Thursday and Friday. Only 16 of the league's 28 teams are in action next weekend as a lot of teams go on their bye. We've got a big game coming up on Next Level Thursday afternoon before your football festivities continue on through the evening. Let's take a look at what matchup is coming up next on Next Level Sports.
The SFL is a new kind of league where viewers are the stars, where strategy reigns supreme.
In football, you don't want to create the edge. You want to set it right up off the bat.
And legends are made.
And Mexico City's going to win!
A special night of SFL. Thursday, Mexico City versus Atlanta. Only on Next Level Sports.
So that gets your afternoon kicked off a little early there on Thursday. And then some other games to highlight in Week 10. Mike, Vegas goes to Louisiana. Louisiana will be in all black for the passing of Leonard Butler Sr. And no team, I think, is going to take advantage more of a bye week than the 2-5 Revolution, who are just a game and a half back of a very weak East this season. And they're going to be playing for their brother in that game too. Vegas could really be in trouble there. Friday, Carolina goes to Baltimore, Mike, for the 4-4 Skyhawks. Got the win 20-17 over Minnesota earlier today, late in that one. And Carolina is one of those teams. They've gone to Baltimore and beaten them before. One of those teams that you feel like, man, maybe they got a shot. And then a big game between Indy and Minnesota, 2 expansion teams that are both under 500 coming into that one and essentially playing for their seasons and a lot on the line. I mean, they've even put out gear talking about the rivalry. Both teams have, and that's the first time those 2 teams will play in the last 4 weeks of the season. So those are some of the key games coming up in Week 10. But Atlanta, Mexico City, Mike, the Atlanta Swarm, if you're going to turn it around, well, you better hurry up and do it.
Well, you better hurry up and do it, but I don't know if this is a team that you want to see coming into town to try to turn it around against, in particular, the way that the Swarm have been playing defense this season, Cam. They have really been getting scorched on the defensive side of the ball, especially in the passing game. And, Mexico City, they've been red hot, scoring 50 points plus in the 2 of the last 3 games. Atlanta gave up huge points against San Diego a couple of weeks ago and 33 last night against Fort Worth. So if they're going to turn it around, I don't know how they're going to do it, but it's really surprising to see an Atlanta defense play this way. We're accustomed to seeing them play a whole lot better defensively. So it's going to be a tough Thursday for Atlanta, but the season's on the line, and I'm pretty sure they're going to bring out all the stops to try to get things done.
Here's the one advantage the Swarm do have. The Mexico City, I can't imagine they're going to change much. I mean, they're just rolling. They're on fire. So Atlanta essentially has the blueprint, but what can you do with it, to try and get that big win at home? We always know that the Hive is buzzing, and that's going to be a huge game to kick off Week 10 here in the SFL, albeit an abbreviated week. But Mike and I will be back here for that one on Thursday night. And it was a good one here tonight in Portland, 27-24. Portland gets the win, improves to 3-5. LA loses another heartbreaker. They are now also 3-5. For Mike St. Green, I'm Cameron Irvine. Thanks to everyone behind the scenes at the Simulation Football League and at Next Level Sports. This has been the SFL presented by APM Music on NXT. And we'll see you guys on Thursday night. Thanks for watching.